So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I need a motion to approve the May 20th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Make that motion.
A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. West Hills Regional Police.
West Hills Police responded on 419 calls for service for the month of May. 106 of those were in Borough of Southmont. 31 traffic citations were issued, along with 8 warnings and 8 codes citations for high grass were taken to magistrates on behalf of the man. That's all I have.
Quick question. The bicycles now that have the motorized bicycles that the kids are zipping around on, are you guys like pulling them over for traffic
Paddle
violations?
assist bikes, we can't, that's electric bike, we can't do anything about
So
it.
they're gonna be blow through the stop signs?
They can
and-
still be adhering to traffic law.
I have a question on what Sherry just brought up. There's 2 bicycles in this area that are motorized,
That's what I'm talking about.
and they're,
I did get a report of someone on State Street here,
Yeah.
a little small little one.
there's 2 of them, the size of regular bicycles.
All right, we can't, like, I can talk to you after the meeting, Bob, about that.
Okay, thank you.
When a bicycle's in the bicycle lane, do you still have to give them the buffer?
You give them the 4 feet, yes, and then in the bicycle lane, they have to obey all traffic laws, just like a vehicle does.
So if you see someone on an electric bicycle not obeying the traffic laws, at that point, would you pull them over?
We could, yes.
Any other questions for Chief?
Is there a horsepower stipulation on motorbikes?
Pardon me?
Is there a horsepower restriction?
I believe it's down to CCs, which we had no way of
Yeah,
measuring.
so you don't have to be licensed if you're below that.
Correct.
Electric, I would classify them.
That's the pedal assist, that's the problem, they with electric bicycles, some of them go pretty fast, 25, 30 miles an hour. It's a growing problem, actually.
Blow through the stop signs.
If a bicyclist is running through stop signs and a police officer is there, like, you have the ability to issue a citation.
Yeah, they have to obey all traffic laws.
Southmont Volunteer Fire.
Sure. The chief's report for the month of May was, we had 6 calls in the borough, 12 assists. Highlights for the month were dispatch to the city to assist them with the building fire operation. We responded with a crew and set up our cascade operations. Another call was on 527. We were dispatched to 14 Harding Street to assist police with the search of a minor, age 6 with special needs. 527, we were dispatched to 149 Arlington Street for a transformer fire. And then the last thing he has here is 528-61, the 51st annual Southmont Jubilee. Started off very wet and muddy, but by parade night, of course, it dried up and we had nice weather. And also, we'd like to thank the Southmont Borough Road crew for their assistance in helping the fire department out.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you. Yep.
Any questions for? Okay. Engineers report.
I have nothing at this time.
Does anybody have any questions?
So we're still working on the last couple of infiltrations, or are we completely done with them?
No, I think Sam guys finished them up and we got them on soon.
No, good,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Did we
they're,
find any, did we find any?
Yes.
That's a new one?
It's not a new one, it was on the list.
It was a re-inspection. They were all sent notices letting them know that they failed.
So they thought they had corrected the problem?
Yes.
So, when your rep was here at the last meeting, we talked kind of about like our flow rates and stuff.
So in the monsoon, the flows they were not pretty. I mean, they spiked significantly, more so, but that storm event far exceeded that 2-year storm that we keep looking for, that's in the consent for.
Okay.
Okay,
So we still wouldn't pass,
correct,
even with upper air taken out of our figures?
correct, yes. I mean, we're close. If you recall, in March, we sent the EPA a report that for 23 of the 24 hours, we passed. We've never heard from them since submission of that report, so.
So then what's the next step?
The meter's still in place. I mean, obviously, we get something that's close to that 2-year storm, we'll evaluate that. Honestly, in my opinion, the ball's in DEP's court. I mean, we, not only us, everybody had to consent to submit that report by March 2020. It might be 2023. But it was submitted timely, and it's been very quiet.
Because nobody's made it.
Nobody's made it.
You
Everybody-
know, all the money and all the pipe and all that stuff.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Any other questions for Todd?
The numbers run pretty good. I mean, what the test you've done so far, they've been satisfactory?
Well, like I said, Herb, the closest storm we had to the 2-year event, we passed that 24-hour time frame, 23 to 24 hours. And we were 1 hour where we exceeded that peak target flow rate.
We passed, theoretically, we passed.
Well, technically, we got to be needed for 24 hours straight. That's what the agreement says.
Thank you.
So if we didn't, in the last storm, that wasn't the storm, are we doing anything to make it better? At this point, are we
If
just
you recall,
gonna
when we submitted that report, so it would have been March of 2023, because we still had like 50 or 60 homes that hadn't passed or completed their repairs on the service lines, which that's probably all been completed, Amanda?
Yeah.
So they're all in compliance. Our position at that time was, let's wait until they come in compliance and see where we stand before we commit to anything. And that's what we haven't heard anything from the department concerning.
Okay. Zoning officer's report was included in the packet.
Have hearing dates been set on these that were filed on 5/21?
Are you talking about the sewer?
No, your property maintenance report.
I'm not sure. I know some of them have received their summons, but I haven't heard anything past that.
Well, it says charges were filed 5/21, 5/20, they filed a whole bunch of charges on 5/21. Then the next thing that would happen is those people would be given dates at the magistrate, is that correct?
Right, the magistrate would then schedule a hearing on those.
And that has not happened yet.
I presume that if it's been filed in May, the magistrate would have scheduled a hearing date for those.
Yeah, I've gotten a call from at least 2 people saying they received a summons
So
for.
we won't receive those. We won't receive notice when their hearing is
No.
going to be.
It's gonna go to oral inspection, they'll receive, well, West Hill's filed the citations, they will receive notice, West Hill's gonna then subpoena oral inspection for them to appear at that hearing.
Okay, so nobody from the borough will be at that hearing.
I don't believe anybody was subpoenaed from the borough. Oral inspection will handle that part of the proceedings. We can ask them that they do provide us with the hearing dates for those citations that we file. I'll reach out to oral
Yeah.
inspection and get those dates.
So then if anybody wants to go, we can go.
Correct, yeah.
Man, who generates this?
Laurel,
Who does?
Laurel Municipal.
Why do they mix the dates off? Gee, put 23 and 23, 24, 24. It's very simple, it's very confusing. Date ordered and opened and.
Okay. Solicitor's report.
Just to follow up on the Laurel inspection, last meeting I've been authorized to send a letter to Laurel Inspection to begin filing citations for the violations. Not based on the reports I received, they have filed numerous citations, and like I said, I'll follow up in terms of finding out when those hearing dates will be. With ordinance 551, which provides for penalties and attorney's fees and interest for outstanding garbage and sewer bills, I'll send out the necessary letters to start the process for the borough to collect those extra costs and fees for those outstanding bills. Other than that, nothing other than that.
You said there was some citations filed then?
Those citations would have been filed by West Hills based on information provided by Laurel Management.
And what's
Excuse
the
me, Laurel Inspection.
timeline after they file that?
Well, once they're filed, the magistrate will then schedule a hearing fairly quickly, so I would imagine those hearings are scheduled within 30 days. Just depends on the magistrate's schedule when they have time to have that hearing.
Some of this stuff can go on too.
And then who will get that final report back on the magistrate, on what happened on the magistrate's rule? Will we get?
I imagine we'll get a copy of the final rulings.
Most likely.
But I'm sure we will.
Yeah. It probably won't be sent directly from the magistrate to Southmont Borough. It's going to go through who filed the citations. Usually, when you have a hearing on a citation, the magistrate's going to should rule at the time of the hearing as to whether or not find the person guilty of violating the specific ordinance sections. They will also generate a written decision, but that's probably going to go to the police department and maybe to Laurel Inspection, but we can also ask the census copies of that to verify the enforcement activities.
Okay. Street Commissioner's report.
I only have one thing to add to the report you guys already have. With the nice hot weather that we had for this week, we are actually painting our stops and curbs again. Trying to get as many of them done this week with the heat, so the drying time is much shorter than without exuberant warmth. And we're going to continue crossing off things on the list.
You guys have a lot of ice water you carry with you?
No.
You should. Seriously, you should. On the truck, you should have a big thing of ice water on the truck if they're gonna be out working in the heat.
For Gatorade, I try to freeze one the night before, keep it semi-frozen
Yeah.
for as long as possible.
I mean, honestly, shouldn't we have like a big, cooler that the guys can take out on the
You
truck?
get one here?
That,
I'll just
you know,
bring mine in, I have multiple coolers.
you guys should
Yeah,
have
I
cold
mean,
water.
we need to make sure you
on the
guys are
truck.
hydrated, so that
We
nobody
have
gets.
a water cooler here at the building, it's just, come fill up a Yeti or whatnot, and it stays relatively cold, we just haven't taken the cooler with us.
Just
In the
make sure.
past, we started an hour earlier with their work,
On the
our work
Mondays.
day, and stopped an hour earlier.
So you're working, what, 7 to 3 now, or 6 to 2, or in the heat?
So it's 7 to 3.
I understand you got new brushes for the sweeper.
Yes.
Is that gonna be able to make you get closer to the curbs? 'Cause
Yes.
the last couple of was about that much left
Yes,
in the corner.
the brooms should have been replaced at the beginning of the season, but we hadn't done it until just recently.
So this fall, when you put it away,
Yes.
that should be an item, to go over that entire machine and replace what needs to be replaced. machine should be ready to pick up leaves in October, so when we go out to pick up leaves, it'll run. And same with the snow plows. You should be, when you get a rainy weather day, get the snow plows in, go over them, lube them, paint, spot paint pads, say, re-weld where maybe broke. And those are the things that have to be done ahead of time. You can't do it whenever you're starting to use the machine. And that's what's happened here several years, last several years. And, it just doesn't work that way. You gotta maintain that everything.
Okay. Borough managers report?
The only thing I have to add is I did speak with the property manager at 521 State Street. She said that the interior work has been done. She wasn't sure why we didn't have a pressure test or anything on it, but she said it was done a few years ago, or at least last year. So she's gonna get a hold of the contractor and see what's going on and get back to me.
Hey, man, what's the status on the fence over here? They were supposed to have a hearing or something? The fence?
Yeah.
What was the outcome of that?
I believe they denied his appeal and told him that he's gonna have to move it to that corner of the fence and then in 36 inches.
It's gonna be there, but it'll be in a different.
It'll meet the setbacks of the ordinance.
Okay.
And then can we get back to 521? If that work was done, the borough would have had been called out to approve it, and then we would have had to issue the paperwork on
We would have had to witness the pressure test,
that.
yes.
And
We had no paperwork. That's why she was calling the contractor to see why that didn't happen, because he was pretty familiar with the process here, so. We'll see what he says.
All right. Mayor's report?
The only thing I have is, I did receive an email from Mr. Mike Harchick there, who came here today, talking about previously on the agenda. I did go up and look at the property also, and myself personally, and I did gather some information from Amanda, and I did respond. Just want to thank him for coming here today and talking about it for the council. Thank you.
Committees, I don't have anything for administrative borough services, community planning and improvements, Richard.
You know, you've been informed that we have a community planning meeting tomorrow in council chambers at 4 o'clock. Stephanie Edwards, member of the staff of the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development, will be participating remotely. Overview of the comprehensive plan, the municipal improvement programs, and ask us to answer any questions and kind of clarify the purpose of the comprehensive plan. We will be asked to appoint members to a regional committee steering committee overseeing the plan if and when we get the grant funding. We were also asked as a borough to submit, to do a SWOT analysis this summer, and to ask what projects, what are we interested in, just to help for the purpose of selecting a planning consultant. What are we interested in, or what's Southmont's special issues that we would like to see as part of the Southmont study? There is a copy of the agenda for tomorrow's meeting in your packet too.
Okay. Emergency management,
Nothing to report.
finance,
so we did have the audit review. We had a special meeting the council was invited to come to, where the auditor reviewed their audit. There were a few, I believe 4 recommendations. general fund and how they're moved back and forth. And so there is a copy of that in your packets if you want to pull that out and read it. That was, but all in all, everything was fine, and any thing that needed adjusted was adjusted. And that was it for the audit for 2023. No.
Greater Johnstown Water Authority,
Nothing new.
stormwater, Sherry.
No, okay.
Personnel, we will be having a meeting in July.
July 9th, I believe.
So everybody's welcome to attend. We'll be looking at job descriptions and review processes. Police, Bob.
Nothing other than what the chief reviewed.
Property maintenance, streets and sidewalks.
Well, I guess, well, Amanda sent me the ordinances for sidewalks and whatnot. I guess you wanted to get together and go over some of that stuff. Did you have some questions on it?
I mean, I don't have any questions.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to kind of look into it more in depth.
I mean, I know we need to update the ordinance, but, so the committee should look at that.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you're gonna have another quarterly meeting too,
Right.
correct?
Right. And then the other, I just had one other question about, there's a, right on Milton and Diamond, it's one of the storm areas, is it flooded out or is it filled in?
It's
flooded.
flooded.
It's flooded, it's pretty extensive.
You're talking the downside, yeah. When the gas company was doing the work right above,
Yeah.
the one rainstorm clogged the outline.
Gotcha.
Any questions for Matt? Do you know when you're gonna schedule the next property maintenance meeting, or streets meeting?
In July, I just don't know which
July.
Tuesday yet.
Okay. Shade tree, Richard.
Nothing to report.
New business, decision on Hudson CPA and Associates audit engagement letters for 2024, 2025, and 2026.
That was also in your packet, and we sign a 3-year engagement, correct, Amanda?
Right, so for 2024, it would be 7,500, 2025, it would be 7,750, and then 2026, it would be 8,000.
And right now, we're paying 7,500, so just incremental increases for the 3-year period. Totaling $500.
Is that a budget item? Is that a budget?
Yes. Yeah. So, we do have to take a vote on that.
Do we have a motion?
So I would make the motion that we sign the letter of engagement for Hudson for 24, 25, and 26.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We need a decision on an estimate from Tyler Zimmerman Contracting for 511 Edward Street runoff repairs.
So the question is, where's the water, I know that a couple people have been involved with it in particular, but where exactly is the water coming from and what has caused, is it a spring? Are you involved, Todd?
We did some television inspection work around that property last year. The storm pipe up above it on Kristen Court was found to be operating as intended. The one on Otis Street was of the property had like silt and shale in it, so our tractor got stuck. Couldn't finish that inspection, but the short answer, I believe, is there are springs coming down the hillside. And they spent a bunch of money on French drains, and I think they moved the problem from the backyard to the front.
So is this on the individual's property, or is this going from borough property onto somebody else's property?
I would believe it's all within the borough right away.
Which the borough doesn't, is that correct? Solicitor?
My understanding that the work is gonna be done on the borough's right of way and it's the borough's responsibility, obviously, it's in the right of way, clean the problem. Is that creating, if it's not repaired, is that creating what you perceive to be the problem?
Yeah, exactly, it's the sidewalk, there's a steep hill coming down, and then the sidewalk's higher than the toe of the slope. The old water collects there, and it's a duck pond. I mean, it needs relief to the street, I think it's the simplest, quickest, easiest fix. I guess the question is if there's responsibility or borough.
So it's on the borough right of way, the springs are on the borough right away.
The water from the springs has been collected by the work they've done over the years, moved down into the right of way.
So the property owner is,
They
what wasn't a necessary problem, they collected the spring water and funneled it into a
That's my
location.
understanding, correct?
Now it's
kind of.
caused a problem for.
Yeah, and it's a public sector issue in winter with it freezing.
So is this another situation where because water isn't going into our sewer lines, it has no place else to go?
It could be, certainly. I mean, the hillside has an elevated water table.
But it's
no doubt about it.
from this property owner's property, and it runs onto the borough.
Yeah, so this home's situated between Edwards and Christine Court, so their lot is street to street. And when they had
It's all
water issues in their backyard, they spent money over the years to bring it around to the front. And now it's a hazard along the side.
So who's asking us to pay for this work, the property owner?
I believe that's correct, yes.
Property owner's sidewalk,
Can it be the
jacked up
simplest
in the back
solution?
end, and the water drain
What
off?
would be the simplest solution?
What's this proposal for? I wasn't part of this.
And that's the other question, there's only one. It's
Yeah.
for 6,000.
So would it be feasible to jack the slab up or lower the front end so the water drain off? I mean,
Now, the elevation gap is bigger than the thickness of the concrete. Okay.
I had spring water down at 335, and I had to fix it myself. And I think that's part of the property owner's responsibility.
And so who's requesting this, Amanda? The property owner. The property owner created the issue.
I can review this with Todd, the borough council. I can review with Todd to make sure as I'm understanding it, but probably need a little more give and take so I understand exactly what the problem was before and now what's
I
created
think
this
that's a
problem.
good idea.
Before we- well,
So if we can refer this over to the solicitor and the engineer. Do we need a motion for that, or just,
Maybe just a motion to table it until.
I make that motion to table
We've
this?
got to be very careful, because what we do, we may be setting a dangerous precedent, and then everybody in the borough's gonna hop on the bandwagon, and we don't have the money to do
This
that.
borough has a lot of water.
A lot of places.
So we have a motion and a second to table, all in favor?
So,
Any opposed? All right, that's tabled. Decision on reimbursement of landscaping costs for 117 Dahlia Street. Amanda, I didn't see this.
That should have been in your packet.
What is this?
Is that for 350?
We didn't get one. Wasn't this the one you said you would have it by?
Yeah, we ended up getting it in time, so it should have been in
I
there.
just have some. Can you fill us in on what this is about? I mean,
Yeah, this would be, up at Herb's property for the trap removal. This is the landscaping repairs after the trap was removed.
so we caused a problem with sewer trap, and then we took the sewer trap out?
Yeah. Yeah, it was during the winter time, so they couldn't do the landscaping at that point. But the estimate that was provided is for $350.
And, back on,
Yeah, from Empire Excavating.
Leon and, State Street, we took care of that, right?
We did.
We own the right of way, correct? Right of way for the sewer
Yeah, right.
and the trap. Okay, that was part of the.
So we did.
So it's our responsibility.
It's in that.
So we voted to remove the trap.
Yeah, this was a concrete repair, is that what it was?
For this?
Yeah.
This is just landscaping repair. Yes, topsoil delivery, clean up stone from sewer repair, 20 square feet.
So those work that the borough had done, this is just to, because when the work was done, that just, you couldn't do the landscaping until.
Right, yeah.
I make a motion, then we finish the job.
Second.
Any further discussion? Is this first?
Yes.
So, who needs to abstain?
You need to abstain from the vote.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Are you abstaining from?
Yeah.
All right, so motion passes with one abstention. All right, business items. Approve ratification of payroll 5/21/24 through 6/17/24.
Make that motion.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve payment of bills 4/16/24 through 5/20/24.
Make that motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve transfers 4/16/24 through 5/20/24.
I make that motion.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve treasurer's report for May of 2024.
I make that motion.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approve tax collector's report, May 2024.
Do we approve it or just accept it?
Accept it.
I make a motion to accept.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, Will.
I find it pretty interesting that one person asked for $6,000 to fix something that the borough needs, but, you know, a borough councilman, and they have a problem with doing that, but a borough council member asks for it, boom, they immediately vote yes for it. That's corruption at its finest right there. He needs to go, Doug. I think you're a pretty reasonable person. I wish you'd reach out to me sometime so we could talk about things. I mean, I do have some concerns, and, you know.
We don't have to either enforce somebody on.
I understand, but, you know, I mean, like, The person that complains about makes a big thing about, you know, oh, we don't have the money to fix a problem that's for the borough. But then he asks for $300 and you guys immediately vote yes. That's why we're watching. We're all watching what you guys are doing. And, you know, I know you can't force them, but that's ridiculous, you know. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous, you know, that you know, I want left alone. And look, I told you how many times, you know, I'm tired of being harassed. You know, I want left alone. We pay our taxes. We do what we're supposed to do, you know. Who bought the product? Did you guys buy the lot behind next to us? Good for you. Good for you. I'm glad at least I have a neighbor, you know, that you know what I mean? Good. So that was up for what, a day? Did you guys know it was going up, or you saw the sign too? Good. Well, good. Well, cool. So, what's that? I cut the grass up there on top, you know what I mean? But, you know, I don't know if you guys have been doing it, if you've been having somebody do it or whatever. How far is that too? You know?
There's drawings on it.
There's a paper alley back there too, you know, you probably want to. And I'll work with you on that, okay? You know what I mean? Because, like, you guys should have, like, you know what I mean? That so it's all contiguous, you know what I mean? And get in touch with me, Doug. See you, bud.